Well, the start was because my father was a florist and inventor. Most of his inventions were for the florist industry. His brother was a large cut flower rose grower in Chicago. He needed a nozzle that would put out lots of water gently. And that's what the water breaker does. It puts out all the water you can put through it. It adds the air to it as it goes through, so it adds oxygen to the soil also. I would go with them as a 3-year-old testing this to get the right kind of pattern. Everybody started using it, and the more people, greenhouses used it, the more saw it, the more they wanted it. So this is basically made the same way it was 80 years ago. There was a rose grower, a medical doctor, I think he was out in the state of Washington, maybe in Seattle. He wrote to my mother saying, I just love your water breaker, but I need to reach in 3 feet. So that's when we decided we better make a handle. It was called the Handy Reach Handle.
Producer Therese even had a chance to put a rain wand together. It wasn't as easy as you would think.
Hey, we're gonna make a wand. So as we talked about before when we saw the wands, the aluminum tubing before it was anodized, these are now anodized your favorite color, blue. So because these don't have a seam in them, we can actually put brass fittings inside, expand the brass in here, and actually make it twice as strong. So the first thing we're gonna do is put the comfort grip on. And this is actually closed cell foam. It won't hold water and it won't get all slimy and algae because the foam can't hold the water, it's closed cell. What we do is we use air pressure to blow this up like a balloon and just push that down gently, all the way to the bottom, just push it. Isn't that a great sound? The next thing you're gonna do is we're gonna put in the garden hose fitting. Now this is brass, and the reason we use brass is because it won't corrode with the brass garden hose end or it won't corrode with the brass hose bib. What you also find out is brass is much stronger than aluminum, and we're going to show you why that is in a little bit. Just put it in there quickly. There you go. And we use the brass instead of the aluminum is when anybody holds onto a water wand, or as we call them, rain wands, and they want to pull the hose across the yard, they use it as a lever and they go like this. All that weight and stress is on this joint. An inexpensive one, like we talked about with the thin tubing, the lightweight tubing, they just roll the tubing over and the nut pulls on the aluminum. And you can literally pull the nut off an inexpensive one just by dragging the hose across the yard. So this joint actually will take up to 900 pounds of force before you can bend the nut and dislodge it. And the next part we're going to put in is the male portion, or the end where the water comes out and all the nozzles can be screwed on. So one of the problems again is we want to have this brass tailpiece, and it's going to be inserted into the aluminum, and then we're going to use this machine again to expand that out to make a sealed joint. Now every single component we've used so far is made in the United States. So the tubing comes from North Carolina, the brass fittings come from Ohio. We actually make the brass valves in a screw machine house in Michigan, and we do the assembly here. And then these water breakers are molded, and you saw them put together earlier today, and they're from here in Wisconsin. So when you screw that on the end, actually we need a blue one. When you screw that on the end, you finished your rain wand.
It all comes down to quality. Dramm tools are made to very precise standards. Testing is key to maintaining that quality.
So our engineering staff is very innovative, and as you'll see in some of the videos, we've come up with some pretty interesting pieces of equipment to torture the products and give them real-world use in an in-house fashion. Some of the best testing and engineering done at Dramm is actually done by our customers. If you hand a rain wand to someone who is working in a commercial greenhouse and they're dropping it on the ground because a customer comes in and needs help, they're not going to gently set it down. It's going to go down because the customer comes first. And they're going to use it 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, drag it around on the end of the hose, and they torture our products. And some of the best lessons we've gotten in engineering is by our customers using and abusing our products.
Dramm has a huge line of watering tools and hoses, cutting tools, and natural and organic fish fertilizers as well.
Quality matters, You want to make the world a better place, and if people are creating their gardens and the greenhouses are putting out, plants that are making us happy and healthy, then we're part of that. Then that's a good thing. That's pretty much all we can ask for.